What's up?
We are back, and we are
upside down.
Upside down.
Oh my lord. It's Stewie.
Episode 534. So we are, you want to introduce this episode?
Yeah, sure. So we're trying to populate our pumidor at home, either...
Specifically Denny's, because mine is very popular.
Yeah,
right
totally.
now.
Yeah, absolutely. So someone who is maybe familiar with... Pu'erh, you know at this point, especially at this point in the series, that you are ready to invest some serious money. You have accepted that you will buy once and cry once. You want to be aging some delicious teas that are going to be interesting, unique, fun to drink, potentially now or closer to ready to drink now, but definitely still have quite a bit of promise in the future. In fact, maybe they even hold some value or go up in their value. Could be the case that you want to buy one and buy one to store and drink one as well. And so check us out in the earlier part of the series where we looked at cakes that were combined, about 4 cakes for $500 or 4 cakes for about $250. And then the final video on this series will be me actually picking the cakes that I'm going to want to pick, ordering them, getting them in and then drinking from them as well.
Yeah. And we're going to definitely record that in 5 minutes, and we're going to put the little timer on for Denny. He's got to decide.
Bye. And this is all James's expertise for sure at this point. I am purely a passenger here, so I'm trying to ask some good questions, but for the most part, I certainly have, because of James' generosity, as well as plenty of other folks watching on the show who have sent teas in, I've had quite a bit of raw pu'erh from different places, different ages, different price
you're
points.
someone with a lot of experience actually trying the teas, but you actually don't have much of a stash, which is kind of an unusual spot to be in.
Yeah. And the truth of the matter is that it's probably not the first tea that I would reach into for my stash to be drinking. So I kind of want to remedy that by having a bit of some nicer stuff that I know I'm going to really be enjoying now and into the future. So $1,000 price point. We're getting into some of that sweet moolah.
Yeah.
So what do we got going on?
Yeah, so there's about $250 per cake. Some of these are a little bit more, some of these are a little bit less. So yeah, let's go first. So this is the Blue Peacock. It's so Teas We Like really specializes in kind of these a lot of these kind of non-chow productions from 2004, 2005. This one's actually from King Tea Mall. This is the Blue Peacock. It's a Munghai blend. And so it's a blend that's, reasonably strong. Here they're talking about Banjong, so Banjong especially specific part of Boolong. So this one's a good, strong character Boolong tea. And again, we have another non-chow here. This is the Double Lions. So we were talking about the 2006 Double Lions last time. This one's kind of known as to be a bit of a classic. Teas We Like sells the Malaysian stored version. You can find a more mainland stored version actually on Taobao for a little bit less.
Right.
But if you really want the great storage, the Malaysian stored version is probably...
And just to linger on this point for a second, the difference between storage this far along and the aging of the tea is going to have quite a bit of an impact.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we're talking about, these are both 20-year-old teas, so knowing the storage, and the storage definitely transforms the tea, or maybe it doesn't transform the tea, and, it's a matter of, do you want it to not transform it?
Right.
Yeah, so 2005 Double Lions, really famous for being a very strong Boolong cake, sort of melt your face. We've recorded with this tea a couple times, actually. So this is one of those ones where we're getting sweaty today. Teas. So this one, Malaysian stored, it's improving probably every year a bit. Definitely known for its kind of just punchiness and its strength.
And would you, for tea like this specifically, James, would you spend a little bit more money on getting the Malaysian storage?
It's a good question, and to be honest, I've done both. At different points. In particular, that cake, I don't own it. So I've always gone a little bit back and forth. It's always been just a little bit too expensive, but it's one of those where it's I can't think of too many other Boolong sorts of teas that I would want more. So perhaps it is worth it in that sense, just because you could spend half as much and buy the 2006, which is a very good tea. It's definitely better value, but if you really want something that's strong and hits that mark, you're buying, you're getting diminishing returns, but you're getting something pretty good.
Right. And even though it's only 1 year of age, the aging of the tea has taken quite a different toll because of the conditions of storage.
And generally speaking, just the older, like the further back you go, the less you have to worry about overpicking and those things. So the quality does tend to get watered down.
Yeah.
So I think even though like 19 versus 20 years, it's, you know, a little bit of a wash.
Right.
The material in the 2005 is clearly like a little bit stronger and punchier than the
Gotcha. Nice.
one.
Okay.
So next we have a very similar kind of in the line. We have a Yeon Banjong tea.
Nice.
So this one sells for about $1 a gram. So it's a big 380 gram cake. So $368. So this one has been stored by Yeon, but it's not fully kind of their traditional storage. So
beautiful.
It's nice, strong material. Definitely some that could use some more aging, but has been pretty well aged for the 12 years that it's been around.
Awesome.
So very similar kind of thought process.
And just a quick question on that too.
Sure.
You know, the amount of time difference for aging, would that mean that hypothetically we could hope for an even more expansive aging profile if it, you know, transforming into the next 5 to 10 years? Do we expect there to be potentially a higher appreciation on the tea as a result of that? How do you kind of think of those variables in terms of the pricing at this price point?
It's possible. I don't know. A lot, you know, if you're actually buying this tea, trying to buy which one will appreciate the most in price, I think you can look at things a little bit differently.
Right.
I'm mostly looking at what will be kind of give you the best tea in the long run.
Right.
Because you'd want to know things like how big was the run, because a lot of people are going to treat these like more collectibles,
right?
Stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, I think that definitely all three of the teas we talked about here have pretty great potential. Mm-hmm. This is probably less drinkable than the other two just because it's younger.
Yep.
So probably a little bit more potential for transformation if that answers your question.
Yeah.
Next up, I have something from our good old pals at White Tea.
Fantastic.
The Untitled 02. So, worth noting, this is a small cake. So, this is quite a bit more expensive than the other ones.
Right.
$319, 200 grams. We've reviewed this tea back when it was released. It's a very strong tea. It just is one of those thick and heavy teas. So, get God on the phone. But at this point, it is 9 years old. So, this is, I haven't had it recently, so I don't really know what it's like. But this crossed me as like the white tea to get if you're kind of shopping in this price range.
Nice.
Next up, I have a couple Iwus. So we are getting a little bit more into different territory. This one is from Dragon Tea House. So Teas We Like sells their tea. $345, so a little bit higher than kind of what you'd want, $250 average. But this one, the Dragon Tea House is really known for producing their tea very traditionally. Mm-hmm. And so their tea tastes quite different from Iwus, from like a lot of the Taiwanese producers and stuff. So it's a lot stronger, bit more of a backbone. They're very interesting to try. I think, for me at least, their teas take a little bit longer before I like to drink them. Mm-hmm. But they're very interesting, and I think if you're picking Iwu teas for the long haul, you would definitely want to pick something sort of like this.
Yeah. And this is very different from Young Iwu that we know and love on the channel, the sweet Iwu that is ready to be drank immediately or very close after pressing. So this is kind of a whole, you kind of just don't even want to think Iwu when you think of teas like that.
Yep. And so last up, we have another Iwu tea. This one is from Bien Hao, another favorite of the show. We actually featured one of the teas not long ago. So this is a blend. So blends are also probably what I would generally recommend for age. That way you just kind of have a little bit more depth, a little more texture. Mm-hmm. Things can be greater than the sum of their parts. Mm-hmm. And so, this is a blend done by Bien Hao, another one of those Taiwanese producers. And this one I've seen people speak pretty well of as far as one that could age well into the future. Yeah. We haven't actually, I don't know if I've actually had this tea. We are actually having this tea sent to us from a couple of people in Switzerland. Not a whole cake.
Oh my gosh.
As a sort of storage experiment. So
cool.
But this
Fantastic.
is known to be, I know Marco, who is one of the people that runs Teas We Like, thinks pretty highly of this.
Awesome.
And has been storing this in heated storage. So
very good.
Cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah, those are the 6 teas that I wanted to highlight.
Yeah, awesome. And on these teas specifically, I have no intuitions about any of them. I mean, I really kind of just think, okay, I want to go for at least one that's going to be quite a bit older. Probably want to get one of the Iwu teas, and I don't know. So there's, even though it's only 6 teas, if you add up the other teas we've featured in the previous 2 episodes on the series, this is quite a bit of choice. And it doesn't mean just because you want to get something that's $200, $300, $400 cake you can't also be enjoying something that's an $85 cake. They're just different teas, different ages, different profiles. Sometimes you just want a daily drinker. Sometimes you want to bring out something nice and special for a tea aficionado, like James. So
I think a lot of like the people that are really into tea and like do own a lot of these $1,000 cakes also own those $250 or $500 kind of price points.
Right. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the series. The next video is going to be a bit a ways from now, and it will be me having picked the 4 or 5 or 3 tea cakes to bring into my Pumidor. At this point, I need to do some soul searching and maybe some sampling.
Sure.
So thank you so much, James, for doing all the legwork on this. Comment below if you enjoyed this sort of format. We really want feedback about these episodes in particular, because anything that we can be doing to meet the interests of our audience, we want to make sure that we're doing. So feel free to leave a comment below. Subscribe to help us get to 10,000 subscribers.
And then watch Denny's channel. He'll probably be featuring these teas once he actually does pick them up.
Yes.
Because that'll be a great document before they go into the heated storage.
Exactly. So until then,
deuces.
Peace.